everyone, how are we today? Just doing our weekly messages as an all signs reading today. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you can stay up to date with all the readings. As we all sort of probably are aware by now that, there is going to be a bit of a swap up with the readings. Some weeks I will be doing them as the all signs readings, and other weeks I will be doing the individual readings. Just very time dependent sort of each week. Okay. So I do apologize if you prefer the individual readings. No one's leaving comments letting me know one way or another. So I'm just sort of doing what I need to do for myself time-wise. Got quite a lot going on at the moment. We do also have a puppy in the house at the moment as well. So, if you do hear any whining, he's still sort of adjusting to the house and everything. So he's asleep at the moment, but he's a bit of a sook. So you may be hearing him in the background of videos here and there as well. So just letting everybody know. This week I am just going to be doing a quick check-in. We are using the Memento Mori lenormand. Just see what messages want to pop out for you. You're more than welcome to flip ahead to other placements or whatever as well. Timestamps are in the description box. Starting off this week with Aries. Okay. All right, Aries. Aries, weekly check-in message for our Aries. What does Aries most need to know right now? What does Aries most need to know this week, please? What's going on for Aries this week? Okay, Aries. Some very strong energy for you this week. We do start off firstly with the obelisk card coming through. This is the mountain card in the traditional deck. So it does sort of point to obstacles in your path, things that may sort of block your path a little bit here this week. It's kind of talking specifically about this flowers card here, which, you do see the wreath energy on this one. It's kind of like, blockages when it comes to the way that we're able to give, or the amount of time, love, energy that we're able to give to things this week. There may be some delays in receiving, other people's time, love, energy in return for what you've given to them. The flowers is a very reciprocal energy of giving. So it kind of talks about, giving as much as you're taking, receiving quite a lot, giving quite a lot. And so with the mountain there, we do see that as a bit of a blockage, a delay on those at the moment for you, Aries. We do also have the bear coming through here as well. So that really does talk about the way that this blockage is occurring for you, Aries, that you may just sort of be a little bit defensive about giving your time, your love, your energy this week. So that may be, part of it all for you there. But there is a little bit of a, standing strong and still trying to nurture and give that energy as you can, when you can, but being also very clear about your boundaries as well. So if you are sort of not receiving in return from somebody, making sure that you are very clear and open and honest about having that boundary about, I do sort of expect some sort of return on all the time and energy I'm giving to you. So being clear about the sort of boundaries and of your expectations, I suppose, not only on yourself, but on others as well. So making sure we are sort of standing tall and firm and confident in ourselves this week, not allowing this to sort of continue to be a blockage, I suppose. But we do just see that at the moment it is just looking like a little bit of a blockage there for you, Aries. So that's what we're seeing for you this week. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. And we will move on over to Taurus. Okay, Taurus, weekly check-in message for our Taurus. What's going on for Taurus this week? What does Taurus need to know? Messages for Taurus. What does Taurus need to know the most this week, please? Okay. Oh, very interesting, Taurus. It's kind of I will clarify in a moment, but I just show you here. You can see we have the woman and the man on either side there of the heart. Okay, that card in the center there is the heart. So we do see it's kind of like the divine partnership here this week. Everything really well in balance, having the masculine and the feminine both, on either side of that heart energy this week, Taurus. Everything does seem to be perfectly balanced with your heart energy this week. I will just clarify that heart card and see if there's anything extra that wants to tell us about that heart. Clarify the heart energy for Taurus. Because, it generally is just love energy, romance. We do see the obelisk here, which is the mountain in the traditional cards, which sometimes can talk about blockages in love. But I feel as though it's more so talking about overcoming any obstacles or blockages that are in the heart chakra space there between you and this person. Obviously, like I said, we've got that divine pairing there. So for quite a lot of you, we do sort of see that we are overcoming any blockages, whether it be, with a partnership in our life, with a love kind of partnership. Could be a platonic love partnership in your life there as well. But it's also that you're both willing to put in hard work and in order to overcome any of these blockages between the two of you. But even if that's just within yourself, it shows us that you are, persistently, overcoming and climbing and trying to overcome any of those, blockages within your own heart space, within your own love schematic, within your own self there, Taurus. So definitely seeing a lot of balance coming through for you this week. It's actually, quite a strong message. It's kind of, if no news is good news kind of message there, Taurus, that, it's just showing us that you are in a really good balanced space this week. And, love is the center of it all for you this week. So definitely positive messages there. You're more than welcome to check your other placements. And we will move on over to Gemini. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you're not already. Okay. Moving on to Gemini. Gemini, what's going on for Gemini this week? Weekly check-in messages for our Geminis. What does Gemini need to know right now? Coming out for everyone, that same card. Okay, so firstly, we do have the mountain coming through here, which is, the obelisk in this particular deck. So that is the mountain card, which does talk about, in your situation here, Gemini, it actually talks about, you overcoming obstacles. You've been putting in a lot of hard work to, climb this giant mountain here. And there has been some delays and blockages in your path that you have, very persistently been, putting in the work necessary to overcome those. It's letting us know that this week you are sort of reaching the pinnacle of achievement here. We have the key coming through there as well. So that does show us that you are reaching the height of success this week. So if you've been putting in all this hard work, you've finally reached that mountaintop this week here, Gemini. So that key really is opening up new opportunities for you, unlocking doors that may have previously been closed to you, and sort of all roads lead to success with that key energy. Even if your vision is a little bit unclear about that, we have the clouds here, which is the smoke pillar in this particular deck, but that is the clouds card. So it does just show us that your vision is a little bit foggy, clouded in regard to feeling like you are at the pinnacle, but you actually are. So it's kind of like, you know, sometimes when we reach the top of a mountain, there is a little bit of cloud cover, and it's just a matter of allowing those clouds to dissipate, and then all of a sudden you can see for miles. And it's kind of you just overthinking things a little bit. I think you're just so used to putting in the work and putting in the work and putting in the work. You're still sort of in that energy of I'm just trying to, you know, I'm a bit confused. I don't know exactly if I'm at the pinnacle yet. You're just not, a little bit unsure, a little bit, you know, you just seem to just not be 100% confident in the fact that you are actually at the tippy top, Gemini. But that success does seem to be pretty guaranteed for you this week. So, you know, allow the smoke to clear from your eyes, and be careful not to overthink things, because that will, you know, create more confusion about the opportunities that are opening up for you with this success. Okay, so try not to overthink it too much. Okay, Gemini. So that's what we have for you this week. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Cancers. Okay, Cancer. What's going on for Cancer this week? Weekly check-in messages for Cancer. What does Cancer need to know? Oh my gosh, I'm shuffling, like I'm trying to really shuffle, and I'm getting the same card has come out for every single sign so far. Okay, so some of you may be on the cusp of Gemini. There is elements here that do look very similar to Geminis. What I'm actually seeing here is, firstly, we have the obelisk, which is the mountain card in the traditional deck. So it does just sort of show us that you have been putting in a lot of hard work. Kind of like you've been very determined to climb this mountain being, you know, obstacles that have been in your path, delays and blockages and things like that. You have been persistently, you know, slogging it out, trying to climb this mountain to get over these obstacles for yourself here. And it's kind of left you a little bit, like, quite literally at the crossroads here. That's the crossroads card coming through. Okay, so it's kind of leaving you with this choice, this decision about what path am I going to take. I'm trying to climb this mountain. I'm trying to get over this obstacle in my life, but I just don't know exactly how to get through this. I just don't know exactly whether I should be, you know, facing that mountain head on, whether I should be trying to go around it in a different kind of a way. You know, it seems like there's multiple paths open for you here, multiple options, choices that you can make to do with this situation this week, and you're just a little bit unsure, very, very unsure. We have the clouds there as well, the smoke pillar in this deck. So that's really clouding your judgment, and it's like you really just you cannot see, you know, for the clouds, for the smoke here, which path is going to lead where. You just really don't know what decision to make. It's kind of like overload. Maybe for some of you, the obstacle is how many options you have right now and how many different choices you can make here, and you just cannot really clearly see which choice to make. You're overthinking it very, very heavily. The clouds is very much up in our head energy. And it's just really sort of confusing you this week, and to the point where it may even be, you know, causing you a bit of panic and anxiety, as well as that confusion. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go here. I don't know what to do. I just want to see if I can get one for advice for this situation for you here, Cancer. Advice for Cancer on what choices to make this week, please. Because you do seem to have quite a lot of choices available to you. We have the stars coming through as to your advice there. So just be hopeful and optimistic that no matter which path I take here, it's going to work out how it's supposed to, one way or another. So that's a good little start for you there to be thinking in that sense. But to really, really sit down and ask yourself, what is it that I desire as the end result? What are my wishes and desires? What's my, what's the dream of all dreams that I want for this situation? And kind of work your way backwards is what I'm getting here. That, having that end goal in mind and being very clear about the end goal, and then working your way backwards is actually going to really help you work out exactly which choice to make here. Because as soon as I kind of feel as though as soon as you sit down with yourself and really think about what is my end goal here, what's the wish, the ultimate wish, the ultimate dream, it's really going to help you work out which pathways are going to take you directly to that result. Okay, so that will help clear your judgment a little bit there. Okay, Cancer, I'm just going to quickly pause. Make sure you do subscribe. I just will quickly pause to pick this little puppy up. Won't be a second and we'll move on to Leo. Okay, so we will move on over to our Leos. Okay, Leo, let's see if this little one will behave enough for me to get some of this reading done for you guys. Leo, what's going on for Leo this week? Weekly check-in for Leo. What does Leo need to know right now? Careful. Okay, so we have, Leo, the message we have for you. Firstly, we have the whip coming through and followed by the masculine. All right, so we do kind of see here, Leo, that it does appear that we're going to be having some sort of drama this week with a male. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a male. That is the masculine energy. So I do kind of feel that for majority of you, this is with a male. So it's just kind of like a fight, a bit of an argument or a bit of conflict, just a bit of drama, I suppose, a bit of trouble and tension with a masculine this week. We do also see the tree coming out. It's the gallows in this particular deck. So we do see the tree coming out for this masculine there as well. I feel like that's more so for the masculine. So it just shows us that they're just kind of going through, they're trying to take care of themselves. They're trying to go through some healing and self-growth kind of stuff at the moment. And it's just kind of, I feel like it's just kind of stressing them out that they're having to pay attention to things in a certain kind of way at the moment. And it just escalates into an argument with you over something. It doesn't feel like anything really actually huge, but it's just a bit of drama more than anything. But the more that you can try to remember that this masculine, it's kind of just getting taken out on you. I feel, Leo, that this person is just sort of trying to, they're just going through that a bit of self-growth and trying to mature and focus on themselves a little bit, look after themselves, and that's where this argument is actually stemming from. They're just trying to look after themselves, and it's just working out in a weird kind of way for you and them, a bit of an argument for the both of you there this week, Leo. So hopefully nothing too serious, but that's what we have for you. You are more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Oh my gosh, what do they say? Never work with children or animals. Careful. But make sure you do subscribe to the channel as well, Leo, and we will move on over to our Virgos. Okay, Virgo, weekly messages for our Virgos. What's going on this week for Virgo? Okay. This one of these cards just keeps continually coming out for everybody this week. It's there's only been one sign so far that has not had this mountain card coming out this week. For you though, we're starting off with the Rider. Okay, you can see the horseshoe there. That is the Rider card. Do not chew my cards, little puppy. We also have the Key. Okay, so we do have some good news on the way. We do have some good news on the way this week. It is followed up by the Obelisk, which is the Mountain card as well. So this does look like it's news that maybe has been delayed. In the recent past, it's been delayed, but it's coming through this week with some sort of for a lot of you, it's kind of swinging the other way, though. You're getting news this week, which ultimately it is good news because of that key here. That does sort of show us that there is some sort of new opportunity, some pathway opening up to you, some doorway opening up to you here that is going to lead to success. But maybe the new opportunity is delayed, if that makes sense. That that you get the news of the opportunity, but the actual start of the opportunity is delayed in some sort of way, or there is some sort of obstacle that you need to get through in order to get to the true opportunity here. But ultimately, it is good news. Okay, good news and a good opportunity that will lead to success. There's just maybe some delays still to come. It may be like, oh look, just as an example here, Virgo, here's this opportunity for you. But then you're like, okay, cool, awesome. I'm going to start this new opportunity. And then as soon as you start this new opportunity, it's like, oh, well, okay, well, now it's just got to be put on hold for a week or something along those lines, where there is still some sort of delay that will take place here. Okay, so try not to rush in too much because there may still be some delays there, Virgo. So that's what we have for you today. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Libra once I can get my timestamps. Sorry, I've just got the little puppy sitting here on my lap, so just holding things up a little bit today. Okay, so moving on to Libra. Libra, what's going on for Libra? Weekly check-in messages for our Libra. What does Libra need to know right now, please? Okay, Libra. Seeing a fair bit of movement here for you, Libra, this week. We do have the stork coming through first, the raven in this particular deck, but that is the stork. That's followed by the ship, or the the wheel. It is in this particular deck. They've got some very very different themes that do equate to different cards in this deck, followed by the gallows, which is actually the tree energy. So it may look a bit daunting, but it's they're all very positive cards. Okay, so the stork is kind of like that messenger, like what we would consider a raven to be, where it's something that sparks an idea, or the idea is sparking before something actually gets born on out into the world. For a lot of you here, it would appear that what we're getting an idea here of something getting stirred up to do with travel, all right, or some sort of distance being covered here this week. So it may be sort of making travel plans this week, maybe of importance for some of you here, Libra. We might be, really just sort of finalizing our idea on where we're going and all that sort of stuff. We also see that there may be for a lot of you, it might be, hey, you right, buddy? Go over there. All right. Sorry, just trying to make sure the dog's not going to wee on me. It's a brand new puppy. Still adjusting. Will only be with me for a month or so, but you will probably see him in videos, okay? Because he's very clingy and sooky, that one. So sorry, what I was saying, for a lot of you, this is like more of an emotional journey, an emotional like you're making plans for some sort of emotional journey that you're going on, or it may be something to do with your ancestry, your family tree type stuff. You're going on some sort of travel to explore your family tree, your ancestry a little bit more, because the tree is really about its growth, its healing, its family tree and ancestry as well. It can also be educational stuff as well. So you may be sort of traveling, going on some sort of journey within self to learn more about yourself, or to look after yourself, that kind of thing. So for some of you, this definitely could be, talking about making plans to go on some sort of, retreat, ancestry traveling, all those sorts of things coming through. But at the moment, with that stalk there, it does seem to be more so in the planning stages than the moving on ahead stages. Okay, so that's what we have for you today, Libra. You're more than welcome to check your other placements as well. And we will move on over to Scorpio. Okay, moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio, what's going on for Scorpio? What does Scorpio need to know this week? Weekly check-in message for our Scorpios. Okay, Scorpio. So firstly, we have the ring coming through for you, followed by the scythe. This kind of does talk about there may be something a little bit big going on for you this week, Scorpio. The scythe really does talk about things taking a sort of sudden change, a sudden break, or cutting something out of your life, and so for some of you, this is going to be a relationship. Sorry if the camera is wobbling there. The puppy is bumping the table. You may be sort of cutting a person out of your life, a relationship out of your life. It may be suddenly changing, unexpectedly, even for some of you here. But for others of you, that is going to be talking more about a pattern, a cycle, that you have been sort of stuck in. You've been maybe stuck in a bit of a loop here, that is what is you're sort of breaking free from that cycle and changing the pattern for yourself here. So we do have the child there as well. So for some of you, that does sort of show us that, those of you where this is a pattern or a cycle, that this may actually be, an immature type of cycle, a childlike type of cycle, something that you maybe have been stuck in from childhood, could be connected to childhood trauma, those sorts of things for some of you as well. And for others of you where this is actually a relationship that's changing, that may be partly what's going on there as well, that it may be like an immature relationship, or a relationship with a child or somebody very childlike. Puppy Tax, he wanted a cuddle. He's such a sook, this one. So basically there, it does just sort of show us that something may be changing very unexpectedly for you this week, to do with a relationship or a pattern or a cycle that you've kind of been stuck in there. So, see how it goes, I suppose. It does seem that with the child there, that's something that has been, immature in your life. So it's just kind of, that whole thing, Scorpio, where it's kind of, sometimes these things need to change, especially if we've been sort of stuck in this pattern, this cycle since childhood, or somebody else is stuck in a pattern, of immaturity and things like that. It may actually be for the best. Okay. So sorry for all the craziness in this reading today, but that's what we have for you. You are more than welcome to check your other placements, of course, and we will move on over to our Sagittarius. Careful, mate. Just taking time. Keeps trying to eat my cards. Won't be a sec. Okay, Sagittarius, weekly check-in message for Sagittarius. What's going on for our Sagittarians this week? Okay. Sagittarius, very interesting. I will probably need to clarify this. We did see something very, very sort of similar for Taurus, I believe. Some of you may have Taurus or maybe dealing with a Taurus. We do have the masculine coming through first. On the other end, we have the feminine coming through. And then in the middle of those, we actually have the ring. Okay, so we see the masculine, the feminine in the ring between the two. All right, so that does sort of show us that we do see an ideal partnership happening in your energy this week, Sagittarius. We have the divine feminine and divine masculine. So for some of you, though, it does talk about just within your own self, balancing the masculine and feminine energies and that relationship with those sides of yourself with yourself. Okay, but we will clarify that ring just to double check what's going on there, because for some of you that is kind of like a perfect, an ideal partnership. That is the focus of your week this week. We do see the snake energy there as well, clarifying that ring. So for some of you here, it's kind of showing us that for a lot of you that this may be, it feels like that snake energy is talking about the past history kind of thing of this relationship, that's why it is sort of balancing out this week, because in the past there may have been some concerns about deception within this relationship, but ultimately there's a lot of passion and desire with that snake energy as well. It's also sometimes it talks about finding other ways around things. So it really does show us too that in the past there, if this is a relationship with yourself that's balancing out this week, in the past it may have been like concerns about, like, am I deluded? Am I believing an illusion about certain aspects within myself, within the patterns and cycles that have been here within the masculine and feminine energy. The snake energy, it really just sort of shows us that there may be a Scorpio influence there as well. That is the Scorpio card. But I do feel for a lot of you, it kind of does show us that ultimately there's a lot of physical passion and desire here. The snake can sometimes just be quite simply a physical passion, like intimacy. So it may just be a relationship that of physical intimacy that is important to you this week, Sagittarius. So, but it does with the ring there. It does seem that there would be more than just the physical. It may be a physical relationship rather than a one night sort of fling kind of energy. Or for some of you, it may be like a relationship starting from a one night sort of fling. So very interesting there, Sagittarius. But that's what we have for you today. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe, and we'll move on to Capricorn. Capricorn, weekly check-in message for our Capricorns. What does Capricorn need to know right now? What's going on for the Capricorns? Weekly message for Capricorn, please. I just want to clarify that third card, please. Can I just clarify the third card for Capricorn? Okay, so it does appear to be a week heavy with communication of some sort, Capricorn. At the bottom of the deck, we have the letter, which is the communication card, and the one I've just clarified, that third card with, is also a sort of communication card there as well. So we do have communication heavy. Starting off though, we do have the dog coming through first. So this is probably, a friend. I do feel for a lot of you this has got to do with a friendship, somebody where there is loyalties there. For others of you, this actually may be quite literal, as in a dog. He has been sort of in and out of all the, on and off, but that's what I'm a Capricorn, and that's actually come through in my life this week in a very physical way, because I have just picked up a puppy yesterday that it will be staying with me for a month. If you want to grab a look at him, I believe Leo and Scorpio, he made an appearance in both of those portions. He's gone back to sleep again now. So as with puppies, you know, 1 minute they're attacking you and the next minute they're asleep. But that so for me that kind of was the sudden change that has occurred, because we do have the scythe here as well, which is, you know, things very unexpected out of nowhere happening, and that was very unexpected out of nowhere. So, you know, very unexpectedly out of nowhere, a dog arrived in my life. But for a lot of you, this is you know, a friendship. Okay, so something with, you know, man's best friend, you know, loyalty, understanding. So there may be some very unexpected changes taking place with a friendship this week. Okay, for some of you, this is actually like a friendship being cut out of your life very suddenly, unexpectedly. We do have the clouds here as well, the smoke pillar in this deck, being clarified by the horseshoe, which is the rider. Okay, so the rider shows us that there is news on the way. Generally, that is a positive card, but it leaves you in this, you know, this cloud of confusion. So there is some sort of news or communication on the way about a sudden, unexpected change with a friendship this week that kind of leaves you very confused and unsure, you know, exactly what this means for maybe the future of the relationship, for you in general, about decisions you're having to make from that. There may be something confusing about the news itself. You may be overthinking things very heavily with that clouds energy there. It could also be, you know, just a little bit of anxiety stirring up this week, coming from this change, coming from this, you know, news on the way, this communication on the way. So very interesting, Capricorn, but it does look like there is just some sort of unexpected change with a friendship this week that kind of leaves you, you know, a little bit unsure about what this news actually means for your life. You know, a bit of confusion there, a bit of overthinking and just clouded judgment, so to speak. I don't know exactly where that's going to sort of take you from here. It might just leave you sort of up in the air a little bit about what this means for you. Okay, so that's what we have for you today, Capricorn. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll move on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. Weekly message for Aquarius. What's going on for Aquarius this week? What does Aquarius need to know right now? Some of you may be on the cusp. I definitely must get a lot of a cusper. There must be a cusper in the collective that I always pick up on, because I quite often pick up on somebody on the Aquarius Capricorn cusp. Firstly, we have the dog energy there. Okay, so we do see friendships, conversations with friends. We have the birds here as well. Okay, which is the bats in this particular deck, as you can see, followed by the snake. So this is actually quite interesting. It is actually a little bit different to Capricorn's reading now that I'm looking at it. But it's kind of like a conversation with a friend or about a friend. It could be a conversation that feels a little bit more like gossip, all right, or a rumor, or hearing, you know, a rumor about a friend. Which is kind of like leaves you wondering if there is some sort of deception or betrayal. Okay, so the snake here, it really is, it does seem to be quite specific for you here, Aquarius, that there's a conversation taking place this week, or some sort of rumor that you hear this week, some sort of gossip that you hear this week, that leaves you sort of questioning as to whether somebody has betrayed you in some kind of a way, has deceived you in some kind of way. So this conversation, it may be the conversation itself where it leaves you questioning, was that all a lie? Was that whole conversation all just a lie? Was that all just gossip? Was all that just a rumor? Is that the lie, or is that the truth? It just feels like it just leaves you questioning, questioning the honesty of that conversation, or the information you learned during that conversation. What is the truth of the matter? Is this whatever this is for Aquarius this week? What is the truth of the matter, please? Okay, so the truth of the matter, we have the cemetery, which is the garden in this deck. So as you can even see in this card here, we've got, the two signs. We've got the cross here with the two signs, so the two different directions. So it's kind of showing me that in the garden card, its main keyword is meet, like meeting in the middle kind of energy. So we've got your version, their version, and then the truth is in the middle. So when I'm asking, is this the truth? The truth is somewhere in the middle, okay, between, what you hear in this conversation. So what someone is telling you, this gossip, this rumor, it's not the complete truth, okay? The truth is somewhere in the middle between, so I'm just trying to think of an example here. If you're, as a random example, Aquarius, the rumor that you hear this week is, oh, so and so took your pancake and ate it. The truth is somewhere in the middle. Okay, so that's what you hear. You're like, oh, surely they wouldn't do that. And then the truth is actually somewhere in the middle. So in the middle of that, we would have, they took your pancake, they just didn't eat it. They just took it. Maybe they're playing a trick on you or something, whatever. Just as a total example there, that the truth is actually somewhere in the middle. Okay, so it may not be quite as bad as it sounds when you first hear this rumor about this betrayal or deception, this lie, possibly for some of you. I do keep getting the word lie come through. So maybe somebody didn't lie. Maybe they admitted the truth. Maybe they, maybe it's not a lie. Maybe there's a part of it that is truth. Okay, so really needing to actually, though, wait until we get the full truth. I feel for a lot of you, because it's that energy of your truth, my truth, and then the real truth is in the middle between the two. Okay, so making sure that we have all the facts before we jump into freaking out about that one, Aquarius. Okay, so that's what we have for you this week. You are more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Pisces. Okay, Pisces. Weekly check-in message for our Pisces. What's going on this week for Pisces? What does Pisces need to know? Why is that relevant to Pisces this week, please? Why is that relevant to Pisces this week? Okay, so Pisces, firstly, we have the heart coming through. Okay, so something to do with, matters of your heart, your, the way that you love, the way that you interpret love, those sorts of things. Okay, we do have, or the way that you feel loved by a specific person for some of you as well, because we do have the child and the woman both coming through here. So kind of like the child and the mother. So, for some of you, you may be the mother in this situation. You may be the child in this situation. Maybe this is your mother. Maybe this is mothering yourself and mothering your inner child, Pisces. So there's a few different ways that we can look at that. It could be, you, your mother, your your child is of relevance somehow this week. And it's kind of the way that I do feel for a lot of you, it may have a lot more to do with the way that you mother yourself and the way that you mother your inner child, okay, and nurture and accept emotions from your inner child does seem to be the most prominent explanation of what's coming through here, Pisces. um, and the way that you love yourself, the way that you look after yourself, because that was clarified by the gallows, which is the tree, which really does talk about self-care and healing and, inner growth and those sorts of themes. So I really would say that this is, that theme of healing and taking care of yourself and looking after yourself, looking after that inner child and loving that inner child. For some of you, there may be an element here of, some sort of healing or healing to do with love between a parent and a child as well. So there may be some sort of theme to do with that this week as well. But for majority of you, this does seem to be, just doing some work to heal the inner child, which, it doesn't sort of stop, does it, Pisces? But that's what we have coming through as the most important theme of your week. Okay, so it may just sort of be one of those weeks where we're just taking care of ourselves and loving on ourselves, loving that those sweet little parts of ourselves that are, remembering that that child is sweet and innocent within us, and we all have that within us as well. Okay, so just spending some time to nurture that side of yourself this week, and love that sweet little innocent side of you. Okay, Pisces. So that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all again soon.